Relationship crisis rather can be one of the toughest challenges to face as a human being in these moments. What you do can have effects that last for even a lifetime. Troubled relationship is challenging enough and it can quickly worsen without the right tools and some experts guidance. Today we focus on relationship crisis and we have the right persons to tell you more about this very important subject that is affecting a lot of people in society, especially women and young girls. The program is Turn Up. Stay with us. Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting edition of your program Turn Up, a program that seeks to empower women and the girl child. And today we are talking about relationship crisis. We have observed that a lot of young girls and women have told us that it is difficult to move from one relationship to another or focus on stay in a relationship for a very long time. Now, what is the problem? We have invited just the right person to talk about this subject. And if you want to participate on today's program, you can write to us on the number you've seen on your TV screen. So you just need to type Ndih Maureen Turn Up. You can go to YouTube and have all our past editions. We'll be right back after the jingle. Before we know who our guests are, I want us to watch this teaser. It's talking about relationship crisis. Let's watch. We'll be right back. A relationship crisis can be one of the toughest challenges to face as a human being. Maybe your relationship is on the edge of falling apart. Maybe your romantic life is somewhat solid, but you keep encountering conflicts which seem to be worsening.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go.
The questions we are asking today is what to do when you are struggling in a relationship. Is space good for a relationship? How do you give him or her space but still show interest in the relationship? Do couples need space? All these questions have answers on today's edition of Turn Up.
You see it when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies.
And our guests are right here with us in the studio. I'll start with the person that is very close to me. She's called Valerie Bimai. She's a teacher. You're welcome.
Thank you very
It's the
much.
first time you're coming on TV.
Yeah.
Wait, are you like panicking or?
No.
Oh, we are here to talk about women.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about something you know so well. But now you're on holiday. Now you're enjoying your holiday already.
I'm having a very nice time.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's a bit difficult, sitting at home doing nothing at this time. It makes life a bit difficult. But I'm enjoying
You're
my
enjoying, but
holidays
you've not like
because
identified.
I'm resting.
There's no activity you've identified like to make you relax and.
Not yet. I'm still thinking of what to do.
Okay. Maybe by the end of the program, I'm sure we will tell you what you're going to do.
All right.
All right. We equally have Dr. Feel Good Insight. Out. Dr. Talbot, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Thank you.
You're just freshly from out of Cameroon.
Yeah.
Let me say from the US.
Yeah.
Now, how is it the other way?
Wonderful. It's always good to go there on vacation.
Okay. You're on vacation?
Oh, yes, just vacation.
Okay. All right. Now, we're here to talk about relationship.
Yes.
We've observed that a lot of relationship are crashing.
Yes.
Put it that way. Now, what's your observation in society today? We'll talk of relationships.
Yeah, what you're saying is very true. It's a very, very common phenomenon. And there are times I ask myself, is it the youths of today or is this how it used to be in the past? It's a tricky question. And today I think the relationship problem mostly exists because people want equality, Women want to be like men. Men want to prove that they are men. You know, all those things that I don't think used to exist so much in the past. You know, I got married in the 80s, and I think it was a bit different then. Like, oh yes, I'm married for 33 years today. Yeah, and what is happening today? I mean, the number of divorce cases or problems even in relationship, you link it to societal issues. I remember the last time I came here, I told you this civilization thing is good, but on the other hand, it's not good. It affects certain areas of our lives, and relationship is one of them.
All right. Now, Valerie, if I have to ask you now, how do you define a relationship?
How do I find a relationship?
How do you define it?
Okay, how do I define it?
And then at one point do you know that a relationship is troubled, has problems?
When there's no longer understanding between both parties, because normally, to me, I believe that most relationships crash today because there is that lack of understanding. And again, there is that issue of being too desperate to go in for a relationship without properly studying the person and know whether going in for this relationship is the best. Again, you have other relationships that crashed because of maybe family members. Maybe you see
they discourage you.
Yeah, they discourage you. Don't go there. You want to go there. Who is that person? Where is he from? Which background? They start looking at background issues, things like that. Other relationship crashes because of maybe you have bad peer groups like friends, because maybe you are in a good relationship. That is it. You are in a good relationship and they don't have that opportunity to be in that place. They start looking for ways, bringing ideas, different ideas, putting things in your head, intoxicating you, making you to feel bad. Whereas behind they are jealous, they want to be in that your position, but they don't have the way to be there. But I look at again other relationship, the crashes because when God is not at the center of any relationship, because I believe that God should be at the center of every relationship. And if God is not at the center, it can't work.
Which means that before you say yes to a man, or a man just talks to you or sees you say I like you, you put God first?
Not that if a man talks to you and say I like you.
What's your first criteria in a man? You're attracted.
Yeah, there should be that attraction first. That's the first thing, attraction. Before any other thing comes.
After that?
Well, attraction comes first. And secondly, I want to see, because I love to study. I don't just go in for a relationship. Yes, a man can be attracted to me, but I don't just jump into it because the man is attracted to me. I try to study the man and see whether if I go in for this relationship,
which means you say a yes, but not a big yes.
Yeah, not really a big yes. Even if in my mind I'm really, but I don't really show it.
Like your heart, you don't like measure. I mean, how your heart beats.
Yeah.
Because
no.
Because the woman will feel it from the heartbeat. Maybe before you're standing for, and your heart is already making. They say, it's like maybe this is really my man. Now, Doc, when you look at the environment today, when you look at society today, what's your evaluation of relationships?
I think it's getting worse. It's getting worse each day. And she said something which is very pertinent. Every good relationship starts with a dialogue. And every relationship ends due to lack of dialogue.
Yeah.
So dialogue is the center of this whole thing. If you people, the understanding is not there, it won't work. That's clear. And that's what we see today. A lot of people, I think they believe more in social media, they believe more in television, what they see. At times I want my relationship to be like this person's own. Why? So these people doing like this and that. So there comes in a lot of comparison and everything, which doesn't work like that. As he says, the attraction comes in. And after the attraction, you go ahead to knowing yourself. Knowing yourself doesn't mean you should just run into sexual activity or kissing yourself. No. There's time to study your partner. because you need to know if to both of you
Now, for
flow.
how long do you study the man?
How long it? I think there's no time.
Because I know
frame,
there are
they
people
say.
that you can even be with a man even for that day, and it's your husband.
Yes.
And you can spend even 3 months or even 1 year. The day he gets what he wants, he goes. So now that's a tricky question when it comes. You see, a young girl will ask you that. Now, how long do you study a man? Because there are men only on the first day they tell that I want you, I want to marry you, and it goes. You don't have any problem with that relationship. Now, where is the problem?
Maureen, you are very correct, but what I want to say when I say study a man, I think there is no time frame. You know, that's why you have to be very smart, and that's
Very
where
smart.
and that's where prayer comes in,
Yeah.
because the Bible talks about wisdom. We need to. I think we all, like the young girls, they need to go on their knees and pray for God to give them wisdom. When you've got that wisdom, then a lot of things you pick from the first meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you use your wisdom to understand that man very well. You know that is somebody just coming like a joker, or he has something hiding. You know when somebody is natural, somebody is speaking the truth, you can feel it.
Yeah.
If you're prayerful somebody, you can feel it, right? But today, a lot of women get carried away by what the men tell them. They give they make a fake picture of themselves. You know, I am this and this and this, and they get carried away. Another thing too that makes them fall so easily is this demon that we call poverty.
Okay.
I call it a demon,
Okay.
because most often, you know, there are times you see some of these young girls, they rush into relationships just because they want to get where they can have a bit of money, or they look, this man is well to do, so if he gets married to me, I can be fine. You know, some of those things. It's not really because they had to choose that man.
Okay.
In Pidgin, they say condition means jangai back
Back
then.
then.
So some of them find themselves in such situations. And
Now, Doc, let's take your case. Have you, like, I know you've been married for, let's say, 32 years before you reach that level.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you must have had other men who, like, said, we love you, want to date you. Now, how long did you stay in that relationship? Or did it take you time to know this man is fake, doesn't have good intentions for me?
That's yes, a lot of men. A lot of men told me they love me, they do this. But you know what? I had a mother who brought me up in a way that helped me a lot, because my mom used to always tell me that, Vivian, I have not refused that you shouldn't have boyfriends, but mind your ways. And every time, if a man tells me, oh, I love you, you are this and that, I just hear my mom's voice resounding in my mind, mind your ways. Mind your ways. And this mind your ways instead kept me away from this man. And my mom told me one thing also. If a man comes and says, I want to get married to you, don't say no. Just say, I'm not ready for now. Can you
Okay,
just
then you
hold
should
on?
not say no.
Yes, my mom
Never
said,
say no.
never say no.
Okay.
Especially when it concerns marriage. Say, I'm not ready for now.
What
You know,
even if
I'm still at
okay,
school. I
Doc,
want to-
what
I
if the
want
man
to.
says he wants to even date you, he's still asking you out? Can you say no? Or I mean, what do you do then? Or you just say
Dating.
yes, or you
That's-
just
that's why I
I'm
say
talking
you
of
need to-
dating. Dating
Yes.
can lead to marriage.
Yes, for sure. That's why I say dating. Yeah, dating, it takes you out.
Or tell me I'm not ready.
You need no. If it's dating, right?
Okay.
The thing is more is that people mix up things. There are datings without anything.
Any
Just
relationship.
sit as we sit like this, and it's just getting to know ourselves, like what she said. That's not bad. I need to know you now.
Yeah.
I cannot jump into something without knowing you. Who is Maureen? Where is she from? What are her likes? What are her dislikes?
Likes.
What is it that pleases her? And what, you need to, when you know all those things, it helps you to make a better decision.
Okay.
So that's the dating part of it, not dating like dating. And thank God I was very fortunate not to fall into some of those.
You're
things.
fortunate.
No, God blessed me so mightily, and I thank Him.
But we
Because
have a
I
lot
got
of-
married, I was just 22.
All
You
right.
know what? So
And you're still in
that's
that
it.
marriage, and
I'm
you're
still
happily married.
for 10
Because we have a lot
years.
of young girls before maybe
Yeah.
in the space of 1 year, they've had like 5 boyfriends.
Jesus.
That's after 3 months you change because you can't cope in that relationship. Let's get your own experience, Valerie.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us your experience with a relationship? Is it that so easy to get to just like get into a relationship or involve yourself in a relationship?
It's not easy. It's not easy because it is something that you need to really think, study it before you make a decision. as she said, you cannot just jump into a relationship because you see a man for your first time and jump into a relationship. She talked of men telling you who they are. Maybe at the long run you discover that that person is not what he told you the first day. So it is really, really difficult to jump in a relationship. I've been in one, and I'm so very skeptical now with relationship because I had one and it crashed. So it crashed in a way that
you were hurt.
Yeah, I was really, really hurt. I was really hurt.
And at that point, it becomes difficult to get into
another relationship. Yeah, because all you'll be thinking is it may be this man may also be like the one who I just had.
But you can also stay like that all your life.
You cannot. That's why I say you cannot stay like that. But you will have to really sit first. You think, pray again, as she said. Yes, before you jump into another relationship. And this time around, I bet you prayers should be the watchword of that relationship. If you want that relationship to really succeed, prayer should be at the center of it.
All right. Now, have you seen yourself like having 2 or 3 different relationships just in a year?
No, it's not easy.
But we have young girls.
But you have young girls who do that.
Women, okay.
And there are some who they'll proudly tell you that I do this because of this, because they cannot cope with the society of today. Many, as she said, that there's a demon that they call money, a demon that they call poverty, because poverty comes as a result of maybe I want to jump into a relationship because I want to gain something from that relationship. And if that thing you want to gain from that relationship is not forthcoming, you see now looking for another direction to where you will get that thing.
Okay. But let's leave out poverty. Don't you think there are girls who have real problems in relationships?
Yes.
That they cannot, let's look at that problem.
Yes.
Yes.
They have problems, real problems.
That you do everything in the relationship but it is not moving. Now what seems to be the problem, Doc?
I want to think that the first thing is probably you made the wrong choice. And secondly is character. Remember in the beginning I said, the world of today, people want to be who they are not. People try to do things to please others. And whenever you want to do something to please others, she talked of peer pressure. There are some girls who go into relationship because of peer pressure. Oh, my friends have this, they are dating this, they have this, let me also do it. Meanwhile, on her own, she wouldn't have done it. Then there's also the problem of character. That's why we tell mothers today, the role we have to play is to try to bring up our girl child the right way.
Okay.
If you are in a relationship, for example, and a boy discovers that this girl I'm dating doesn't even know how to cook, she wants me to go and spend all my money in the restaurant every day, do you think that relationship will last? For some, it won't last.
At the same time, Doc, we have girls who cannot cook, but they easily have the men. But there are others who are maybe so hardworking, they work hard, let me say, in that relationship. They do their best, but the man abandons her and go to another woman. And she finds herself another relationship. The man abandons her again and moves to another woman. At that point, now, Valerie, I'm sure you put yes, Doc, yes.
It's usually said in English, in every rule there are exceptions. Everybody can't work the same for everybody. There's this minority of unfortunate women who are, you look at them, they are ideal wives. They are ideal in everything, but they just can't get into the right relationship. Those ones are very few. Just like men too. Those type of men that everyone like, this gonna make a good husband.
It's a good man.
It doesn't. But here, I think here what we are talking about is the majority. What is the cause in majority of cases? I think that's what is very important. And we cannot at this point push out spirituality out of this thing. There are some cases of those women who they are breaking up, which is spiritual. I don't know if you know about generational curses. It does exist. Where you look down the line, you see that girl's grandmother did same. The mother did same. She too is having same problem. Guess what? Her daughter too have same problem. So those type of things are dealt with your Bible. Right? But now we're talking about normal cases. So that's why we're insisting of bringing up the girl child and the boy child. It's not just only the girl child. Because if a boy grows up in a house where the father is a runabout, he's all over the place, this little boy looks at the dad, that's his ideal, you know. person here on earth. So what daddy is doing is good.
It's good.
It's perfect.
Copies.
So I will do the same thing. When he's a boy too, he thinks dumping them like that is normal. I don't understand. The same thing for the girl child. If your mother is a type of mother who is not stable, she's jumping. You will think, I do a lot of counseling. There are some girls, ladies I talk to, and to them, it's all but normal. They don't see anything wrong in what they are doing because they grew up like that. So you see, the fundamental issue here is raising up these children to know what is good and what is not good. It's very important. And if they know that, then they'll see that most of the things they see on the TV, on media and everything, it's not everything that you copy. You can copy some, but you don't copy all. But unfortunately, they tend to copy everything. And that's what is causing this relationship crisis. I mean, I'm talking about the greater part of it. As I said, there are exceptions. For sure. There are nice people that you asking yourself, what is it? But those people will tell them to pray.
All right, Valerie, we have these relationship problems, right? But when a girl stays for too long and a man doesn't like, says, you're a beautiful girl, it disturbs, right?
It disturbs a lot.
How?
It disturbs a lot. You begin to ask yourself questions.
Maybe say beautiful somewhere else.
Yeah. You begin to ask yourself questions, but why is this man not saying anything? I've been in this relationship for a very long time and has not been saying anything. So you see, it really is something like it traumatized. Yeah, it can traumatize you, traumatizes you. So it's really something that if you're in a relationship for a very long time and the man is not doing anything about it, maybe to make that relationship to be what you want it to be, that is to take it to the next level. Start asking yourself questions.
I've seen young girls, very beautiful girls, good character, but they've not seen a man by their side tell them that you're a beautiful girl, we want a relation, we want to date you.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
And they're worried about, they don't even know what to do.
She talks about a generational curse. It can be.
Yes.
It can be.
People need to believe that things like that exist.
They exist. They exist.
Yes. Now, how do you handle it? You just have to go back to your roots?
Prayers.
Oh, no, prayers.
Oh, prayers.
You can't even go back to your roots because you don't even know where the root is found.
Yeah, you don't even know where it started. So you just need to
just
pray.
go to prayers. You know, we need to learn to start reading our Bibles.
Yeah.
Because reading that Bible, those words in it, the word of God is life. It can deliver you reading it like that. I just find your life, boom, something happens, or you feel like some people tell that I felt something come out of me. I felt those things really exist. The things that we need to believe that exist. For those people who have this problem, this particular problem, they are saying like that, they shouldn't just take it lightly. Because it's going to continue like that. But another thing too also, I think the society matters. If you go the developed world, the men, they know how to say, I love you, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you know, they walk, they hold your hands, and they are. It's not very common here. It's not very common with us. And we should know that it's not really our
It's not culture.
Yes, it's not. It's not common here. So you can't force a horse to drink water. You want this man to tell you, I love you, and that. He doesn't know. Bushman from a bush village, he doesn't know that he needs to say that. But men, let me tell you people today that you need to learn to tell your wives or your boyfriends or girlfriends that I love you, you're beautiful. A woman is like a fuel in a car. The car needs to be fueled, and the car is fueled with some of those loving words. That's what helps you to keep the relationship. Yes.
And there are women who tell their guys that maybe you're the most handsome. The man takes it as if it's some sort of a pride, and I mean
some are even surprised to hear that.
Some might even say what, and then you see
that's surprise you never told them before.
Yeah,
of course. Now, Valerina, when you leave one relationship, you have a problem in relationship. Now, when you're moving on, what do you change? What are the changes you have? Do you have to think what? Do you look for another strategy to get into the relationship? Now, what do you do?
Obviously, I'll look for another strategy because I'll go back, cast my mind back from the first relationship. What made that relationship to crash? Was I the cause? Or maybe my partner was the cause? That is it. From then I begin to find answers before going in for this other one, knowing what I'm going to do there. Or if I was the cause of the first relationship, I think going to a second one, I'll try to change from the past one.
Which means that if in the other relationship you were not washing his dresses, cooking for him, you cook this time, you take all his dresses, you pull the wash, you spend, I mean, you do all those things.
Maureen, let me tell you, there are some men today that if you are in a relationship with them, immediately you start washing their clothes, cooking them food. They start thinking, yes, they start thinking that you want to tie them down. Yeah, that you want to tie them down. You see, so it's difficult.
So what are you saying? It's difficult that you will not do it.
Well, if he gives me, it depends. If he gives me the opportunity to do it, I will do it. Okay. If he does not, I will not do it.
Okay.
Be very honest and sincere with you. I will not do it.
Okay. I want us to watch. This report is on adolescent girls. They want a government to also listen to their cries and take their problems into consideration. Let's watch. We'll be right back.
Adolescent girls have the voice to speak, or they don't think adolescent girls can do something to in the country. So if adolescent girls like me are allowed to take up leadership, obviously they will help in the development of the country. If males are being trained to become leaders, what about females? If females and males are being trained together, obviously this country or the world will be a good place to be.
Girl child faces is the lack of education. Education is the backbone of every successful community, of every successful country, and it is very important that every girl child has that right, because as I said earlier, considering a community or a country where if 20 boys are educated and are able to bring about 20 game changers, 20 great leaders, what about educating 20 girls too? 20 girls will also bring about 20 great leaders, which will bring a surplus of 40 great leaders in the country, and that will be a great boost to the economy of the country. So please, educating a girl child is a very, very important factor, and the government should please try to sensitize the population, sensitize parents who think that girl children should be instead sent into early marriages rather than sent to...
Is the subordination of adolescent girls' rights, like the right to education. The adolescent girls, they could be taught skills on how to develop the economy and the society as a whole. This goes as far as covering a wide range of things. When adolescent girls are taught on their rights, they can be able to stand for them. People out there will be able to listen to them and to stop the things which are an abuse to the adolescent girls.
Breast ironing and female genital mutilation. What happens is that we young girls, they find us as if we don't have rights. They tend to press our breasts and think that maybe they should prevent these sexual desires, that we should not have them, because maybe they think that we are the weaker sex, which is wrong. The government should put strong mechanisms in which they should stop and eradicate all of these things from happening. And also they should make sure that these things are enforced, because when they put these laws, they just remove the people after maybe some few months. No. We want that our voice should be heard. They should put strong mechanisms. They should prevent all of these things from happening, because it's very bad.
The security. At times, we always witness girls that are being abused, sexually abused, and we are scared. We cannot even move on the road freely because we don't know what will happen. Like, for example, assuming we have our interest to the house or to school, when we are coming back from studies, you are afraid that you cannot walk alone because maybe there are people there that can abuse you, rape you, or even steal from you, any form of violence. And so what I want that the government should do, like, to implement laws or sanction. If they could really levy strong sanction on them, I repeat, very strong one, at least so that when someone else will hear about it, the person will be shaking, will not even think of doing such acts.
Welcome back. This time around, we have one other person that's added. She's here with us here in the studio. She's called Evelyn. Evelyn Metuge, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Now I can see you're dressed in black and orange. Now, what's the message?
Today is a very special day, Maureen. Southwest and Northwest women that we belong to a task force. We decided to come out today to do all our activities all over the country. Even those of us, some of the women who are out of the country, we decided to dress in black, and this orange is our symbol to show empathy and sympathy for all those who have been hit by this crisis. However, those who have died, those who have lost properties, those who have been separated, even myself as an IDP, also in tears.
You were in the Southwest region, in Boya, where you were working, in Kumba rather, and today you are in Douala because of the crisis. Now, how are you helping these women? Is it just by mourning? Now, what do you do exactly to help them out?
We have a lot of things that we are putting in place. As an IDP, by the time I go and meet another IDP, to tell the IDP, the internally displaced person, that you don't just need to sit down. Like I'm here, I'm talking with you. This is something I'm already doing for myself and for the community also at large. So we have other things that we should get involved in. We are in a crisis situation and we must know how to manage it. So the first thing that the Women's Task Force is doing is to galvanize these women who have been, who are in this crisis, to help them, to educate them on how to manage the crisis, so that we don't die maybe because you have not been hit by a bullet. You should not also die of starvation or poverty.
So every woman should be concerned. Even if you are
every woman
in the crisis zone, that's in the northwest, southwest region,
Maureen,
wherever you are,
wherever a child falls down, the heart of a woman screams. Whether you're the biological mother of that child, it means that whether Anglophone or Francophone, a woman, all the women are supposed to get involved in this crisis.
All right. Now, I had your leader in the Northwest, the regional coordinator. She was here, and the question I asked her was like, was it just crying and mourning? What's next?
We have a lot of things in place.
And she told me it's a lot.
A lot.
They are still strategizing and see how, because they are meeting, there's a lot of lobbying, they're talking with government on the next strategy to put in place.
You know that they say a woman, her role in the house, you cannot underestimate a woman's role. And when we cry, it's not out of weakness. It's one of those things that women know how to do best. And the best way to attract your husband, the best way to attract your son is to shed tears. So what we are doing by crying is to attract the attention of those concerned that, please, we are in pains. Do something.
All right. Now we're talking about relationship.
But before then, I want to hand the muffler to maybe you, because I would have loved to give it to Doctor, but I'm going to give yours outside. So I'm going to give it to you, Maureen, please. You are also a woman. Join us.
Doc, are you seeing this?
We're working for peace.
Serious.
All right, now, since we're talking about relationships, and we know if we go back to Northwest and Southwest, a lot of relationships have been broken, affected as a result of the crisis. Now, we're not talking about that, we're talking about relationships. A lot of young girls can move from one relationship to another, and they don't have what I would call a serious relationship. Now, what's your experience like growing up?
My experience, I can say it. I don't even know how to start, but I want to say I'm one of those very unfortunate ladies when it comes to relationship. I've had very bitter and extremely sweet times in relationships. You know, especially when we talk about that transition. Me, I look at it, the first problem we have is the men. So many men do not have confidence in themselves when they are dating a girl. You have a girl, and then the girl shows you all the affection. She is what she is. You start tagging her with names. That girl is stubborn, that girl is dirty, that girl is blah, blah, blah. But then you didn't look at those things when you were going to look for her. And then the next minute, the relationship is strained, and then you have to break. But the real problem is not that girl's problem. It is the man who does not have confidence in himself. So what I want to say is,
and when you discover that the man does not have confidence in himself, you stay in the relationship. If you see that it's not moving,
there is no issue of staying. There's a problem of trying to see if you could manage the situation. You know, there are some,
and that's what most women have been managing, and you're suffering.
No, when I say manage, I'm not saying that you should kill yourself for that man, no. and it's not also proper for you to just wake up and say, that man is suffering from complex, and then you just get up and you go. I mean, you have some feelings. You try to work it out. But if it doesn't work out, even if when my father used to beat me, I would run out of the house. So how can a man tie me down? You know, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Now, moving from one relationship, now what did you discover was the problem? What's the problem with most young girls? You have people who cannot sustain just one relationship. They move from one relationship to another. Now, what do you think should be the problem?
Like I listened to the others say, I'm going to tie with what the doctor is saying. There is that generational curse, which is...
So you believe in a generational curse?
I really want to believe in it because it's affecting a lot of people. We have a lot of problems. Our parents I don't want to blame them, but I want to say that there was that laxity, there was that too much laxity when we were growing up. And I see even a worse situation in this new generation coming up with the advent of all the facilities and all those things that children now can hide in their rooms and do whatever they have. Now, building a relationship is a whole issue on its own that needs a lot of patience. It involves a lot of caution. It needs guidance and all of that.
And who gives you the guidance?
For
you
both the men and the women.
women.
Because
now,
on your own as a woman, we are the vulnerable sex. We are vulnerable. You cannot tie a man to be with you.
No.
You see, it's that's why it's always easier for the men to leave us.
Okay.
We try to hold on to a relationship and say, if I leave this guy now, you know, people are going to laugh at me and say, I'm just hip-hopping around.
I'm not cutting you. I want to just talk. You see, like she just said, a girl is like too desperate that, no, if I leave this relationship, am I going to meet another man? But this man even has a car, he has a house. What if I leave the man? Will I meet a man that is also, I mean, don't you think that's one of the problems?
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems. I think, you know, they usually say the grass is always greener on the other side.
Okay.
You know, you have this man and you think, oh, the people out there are better, let me leave this one and go that way. You go that way, will be worse. So you do what she said she
she doesn't even want to leave because she's afraid she leaves him. She's not going to meet a better man.
Better man. So what you do, you try to mold him. The thing is that what we should understand today is that there's no perfect man, there's no perfect woman. So whoever you meet in life and you accept that I want to settle down with this one, there are a lot of things that he has to mold you into, and you also have to mold him. It's a two-way traffic. You know, she talked about the girl child being vulnerable. That's true. But what she said about, you know, the problem is always the men. I'm sorry, but I won't disagree with that.
I didn't say always. I didn't say always. Yes. I said most often.
Okay. It's like always.
Because that's what I'm saying, that it is because we are of the vulnerable sex.
Okay.
It's not easy. As a woman, I don't just walk out from a relationship.
Walk out like that.
It is mostly the men who walk out from the relationship. That's why you say it's most at the end of the day, because the women are the ones always trying to manage the relationship. But if we have a situation where the woman will be managing, the man is also trying to see how you can manage it, and all of that comes down to women who don't have anything to do for a living.
All right, doctor, should we manage a relationship?
Tricky question. It depends. 50% yes, 50% no. If you see that your life is in danger, you don't manage those relationships.
Exactly.
You don't, because you are precious to your family. Even he doesn't care about you, your mom, your dad, your siblings, they care about you. So you're not going to die there because of love, right? That's on one side. On the other side, if you see that this man is somebody who can finally be molded into the form you want, you can manage it. You can manage it. You know, more in life has got ups and downs. Just like they say, there's nighttime, which is darkness, and there's daytime, which is light. Everything is not just smooth. Everything cannot just be glory. So always have that period, that time that you say, let me try and see if I can manage it. That dark time. But if you try and try, it doesn't work. You will kill yourself. You won't kill yourself.
Now, what do you do? If you try and you try and you try, because that's what I call women, they're struggling to build a relation. You have been struggling. Now, what do you do? What's the next thing to do? I know it's tough.
Recess. What I'll do is I go into a recession.
Okay.
You recess.
Think
The
about
problem of the problem with
Cross-examination.
the problem of this transition, where most girls have a problem, is because they just dive into another relationship without considering, without reflecting on what caused the breakup in the first place. Because if you don't work on it, the second one, they will pick your piece, your body parts. I'm telling you, I've seen how those things. I mean, they are so recurrent over and over. It's even becoming boring, you see. And these girls nowadays are stubborn.
Very
Stubborn for a phone. Just for a phone, you see what a girl will be capable of doing. She will be there. The guy will pass with another girl like that. She's there. The guy is there. You cook food. He is not coming back to come and eat it. You stay in the house 12 o'clock. A man, you are not yet married to him. Oh. He's not in the house. At 12 midnight, you are there cooking delicious meals. Your parents are there in the house. You take all that energy, come and waste on a man. It's not normal. It's not normal. I'm not saying that when he stays out at 12, he should also stay out at 12. I'm saying that if that man is not worth your 12 o'clock, don't give him even 6.
Maureen, there's something burning in me. I need to say it. I need to say it. I need to say it because when we'll talk about the girl child. I keep insisting on the upbringing. It matters a lot. If you're not married, what are you doing in a man's house?
Massa.
That's it, because that's, as she said, that's what we see out there today. Single girls, you just pack your load
They
and
think
move into a man's house.
it's a strategy.
Do they even pack?
They see it as a strategy.
No,
that
my
you
dear.
see, a married, they'll tell that it's so difficult to have husbands today.
And before you know it, you are pregnant.
Yes.
Then you start begging the man to go and see your parents.
Yes.
Okay.
See, when they know you're a respectable girl, right? It's a girl who stays in the parents' house until she leaves from there to her own house or to go and get married. When you have something precious, gold is precious. For you to see the real gold or the real diamond, you need to refine. You need to refine. You need to take off all the ground and everything that's around you to see the real thing inside. Why do you start exposing that diamond and gold to somebody? Of course, you will not have value for it after some time.
She would die of
I've seen it
hunger.
already.
Oh, she would die of hunger.
I've seen it already.
She
We're
would die of
talking about,
hunger.
you saw the girls who were talking there. Those are small,
Of
little
course.
girls, you know. We're talking here, we're targeting a certain age group.
Of course.
You know, you're targeting the 15-year-olds to the 20-something. You know, I don't even understand. When you, I like there's this lady who sang something about her banana. You know, I don't remember one artist like that. I think gospel artist. But we just trying to tell young girls now that don't rush into a relationship. Study it. And as we said, if the thing if it fails, sit down and cross-examine yourself. Where did I go wrong in this relationship? How can I do to improve on it? You need that. If not, as she said, you go to next relationship, it will still break. And we should learn to accept when we are wrong. Yes. That's another thing. Okay. Most people don't want to accept their fault. Men like women are not supporting any side. But for somebody to say, yes, truly, this thing I did wasn't really good. Next time, you will not do it again. But so long as you don't identify your fault, you will still do the same thing, be it the man or the woman. So the relationship breaks either because of the man or because of the woman. Okay. It's a two-sided sword.
Evelyn,
that's how I think.
Yes, and I'm just adding it. I'm just adding because she speaks so well. Most of what she's saying is like just entering inside my body. Okay. You know, another thing is when you break up from a relationship, don't always think it's because there is a problem.
Yes.
There mustn't be a problem for a relationship to break up. Yes. It may just be an issue of compatibility. You guys are not compatible for each other. And maybe God is saying something. Some of us are too much here. Yes. We go in and settle for one small thing. Whereas God had something bigger for you. Okay. And he will try to use every method for you to leave that place. Now, as stubborn as you are, you continue to stay there. The years are going and, you know, you're getting deeper and deeper. And what God was keeping for you, you know, it cannot wait also forever and ever. Okay. So for me, when you have a breakup, like I said, you go back and do a small recession. That period of recession, God will intervene.
For how long?
There is no how long.
Maureen likes a how long.
Yes, Maureen. Am I a robot? No, there is no how long.
Are you God? No, just keep praying the right time.
Just sit.
Which means you can pray and you
it can
stay
be 2
back
days.
for 1 year, 2 years.
Yes, it can
5
be
years, anything.
No, but be careful with your
age.
age. When you clock, when you start clocking my age, be careful.
Yeah, of course.
Don't want to say that. Look at my age. I cannot stay that long. She look.
But that's another dangerous thing.
Okay.
It's as dangerous as getting married to the wrong person.
Yes.
When you have it in your head that you're getting old, you're crossing a certain level, that you're blah 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 blah, you're losing yourself, and so when you start thinking like that, my dear, know that you're finished. You need a therapist. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you settle for anything.
Okay.
And that's you're digging your grave. You see, you start succumbing to anything. The man can do anything. Say, after all, I don't reach 40. I'm 40 plus. I'm already 50. Who will take me again?
This program is getting very sweet. It's like we'll stay here the whole day, right? Okay. Yeah. What she's saying just brought something to my mind. My mind.
Okay.
The first thing is you need to love yourself as a woman.
Okay.
Yep.
Love yourself. I think one of the greatest commandments is love your neighbor as yourself. It means you love yourself first. You love your neighbor. So why do you have to go through all that? Because you think, you devalue yourself. You make yourself feel as others are above you. No. You are first very valuable. Okay. And if you value yourself...
And so women don't know that.
That's what I'm saying, Maureen. That's what I'm trying to say.
They think that when you have 4 kids, that's the end of it.
You are not finished. In fact, you are so precious in the eyes of God that nobody should make you feel inferior. It took me time to get to this level, but I had to get to that level when I started reading a lot of motivational books. And I'll look at the mirror and say, Vivian, you know what? You are the most beautiful. You are the most intelligent. You are the most talented. I give myself all those. It took time because it has to sink into the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Until it gets to the subconscious mind, you won't be able to fight it. So when it gets to the subconscious mind, Maureen, no man will treat you that way.
Exactly.
Because they treat you like that because they know you have no value for yourself.
Okay.
If you show them that you value yourself, believe me, they'll respect you.
Okay, Evelyn?
Yes, another thing is when you make a mistake it does not give capital punishment to anybody.
Yes.
When you have made a mistake, when you think that you did something wrong to a man and you say, I'm sorry. You say, I'm sorry. You say, don't live your life saying, I'm sorry.
Move on.
Say, I'm sorry to a certain level. Give yourself a time rate. If you say I'm sorry and you think that the sorry you're saying is not good enough for him, my dear, do your research.
It will never be good enough for him.
Another thing, let your mistake not make you bow down your head. You bow your head only when you're praying. You don't bow your head. You don't put your head down with regret, because there's one thing any woman should not do. Don't spend your time regretting on the things you did in the past.
Okay.
Instead of regretting, strategize. Look at those things you did behind and say, okay, this thing I did behind and it break my leg. Oh, all right. Next time I need to do like this so that I don't break again.
Okay.
So a mistake is not the end of the world. A mistake is a mistake that anybody can do, because people always hold others because of one mistake or the other. Maybe like people used to say, that girl, she has been, so what?
So what? Life goes on.
Hold your head up. Forge ahead. And the best thing a woman can do for a man to respect her, for her to gain respect, even for her own self, be educated. Look for a job. Because when you have a job, you go out. You don't have time.
If you didn't even go to school, people have lots of them who are not educated, but you're in that marriage, you're in that relationship, and it's not moving. Just look for something to do.
Marriage does not stop you from living your life. There is, that's why they always say that. Why is it that when before you got married, that man saw you wearing trousers? You get into the house and then you stop wearing your trousers. Marriage should not deprive you of your life. Marriage should not deprive you of your living a normal life, of being educated. If you went to a certain level and you're educated to a certain level and you want to continue, that man should not hinder you to forge ahead.
All right.
The only thing that can hinder you is pregnancy.
Okay.
It's pregnancy. So I don't see why even some women put too much in a relationship when they are not yet married. For me, it's a waste.
Okay, though.
And that's what we're talking about. Women knowing your value and being real. Be yourself from the beginning. I've had situations whereby a woman talks to you and you realize that the relationship started on a fake ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You hide that bad part of it. You know, we all have our good side and a bad side. And now you're in a relationship because you badly want this man to stay. You try to cover that bad part of you, or the man tries to cover his bad part. And now the thing comes out now at a certain point in time when you like, is this the type of man I got married? I can't stand this. I don't. You understand? Be yourself. Don't care if the man loves you, he will love you for who you are. And when he loves you for who you are, that relationship will stay.
Exactly.
Because I've spoken to men and some will say, no, the way she's too good to be true. Look, when in the beginning it was like this, now this is what she's doing, this is what she's doing. So just be yourself. Be true to yourself.
Okay.
And don't forget that you can never please a man.
You can never.
Never. Because there's one thing I always tell my friends, that the worst thing you can do is to change for a man.
No.
Because you're wasting your time. That man, he himself doesn't even know what he wants from a woman. Because there are men who don't even know. They don't know that they love a woman. They don't know that they are in love. They don't even want to love her. They are stubborn to the core. So there are men like that. So the best thing you can do, when you love yourself, you live your life the way you know it suits you. But be nice to that man. Know how
And
to respect him.
the man.
Know how to, another thing, some women then know how to toe the line. Women are too pompous. They want to dig into everything. There are men who don't like you poking your nose at every given corner around him. Everything you want to know. He is picking the call. Who is that? He wants to enter the where is that? You know, those things, some of those things, we don't need to overdo them in order not to.
All right. Dr. Christian, want to ask, is space good for a relationship?
Peace.
Space. Giving
Space is very, very good though. In fact, to me, space is good. And that's why I love my husband. You know why? Because he gives me space. He gives me space. It means I know I don't. Let me just give you a simple example. When I was schooling in Liverpool, I had this friend from Zambia, Dorothy. And Dorothy's husband, we leave our residence and we're going to school. It's a 20-minute walk. This guy will be on phone from when we leave the house till when we get to school. He wants to know when she gets up from bed. He wants to know what she's doing right now. He wants to know what. That's what she says. He pokes into your life, right? He doesn't give you space to do your own thing. Why should you do the same thing? I would not want my husband to call me morning, afternoon, evening. Why? If I'm out of the country, call me. If you call once a day, that's fine. If it's 1, 2, 3 days, to me that's fine. Because he knows, my husband knows if there's any issue, I'll get back to him. And if he moves out, I know if there's anything, he'll get back to me. We need space, Maureen. There are times I just want to be alone. Exactly. There are times I just want to do your own things, the things that will please you. There are times I want to be with him. We need to understand this. Women, we need to understand. Men, you need to understand that also. There are times you just need to identify with your partner when what he likes. That's why I'm insisting on the likes and dislikes. I am one of those who believe that for a relationship to stay, right, you have to be very frank from the beginning. Okay. And the frankness includes your likes and dislikes. Okay. My son just recently got married, and before their wedding, I told him, tell your fiancé then, people should put down, discuss your likes and dislikes before you go to the mayor to sign this thing. It has to be very clear, because let not be tomorrow. For example, I for one, I'm more open. My husband is too close up, and I'm the type, like a young girl, I used to like to dance, and I said, this is my don't joke with this one. He said, no, I accept you the way you are. Can you believe that? We used to have invitations, Mr. and Mrs. I will leave and go to that party with my small sister in the house. And when I come back, I ring the bell or I horn. My husband will come and open the gate. I will get in there.
Simple.
And when some people, why do you let your wife? He say, that's what pleases her. And I know what he likes to. And I try not to step into that. I don't understand. Okay. That's what has kept us going all these years. Okay. So young girls, try to know the likes and dislikes. Be pure. Just say it. Because if he likes you the way you are, right? Don't try hiding that my past life was like. If he asks you of your past, tell him the past. If you say, I still love you, know that love will stay. Okay. But if you hide it and one day somebody tells him, he discovers it, that's when there's problem. I mean, in some cases, it's true, it's not every case I need to just say everything.
Exactly.
Yes. And I'm saying in situations where the relationship has gone deep, that people have done the cutting until you reach a point where he needs to know. He needs to know.
That's true.
Let me tell you one example. Okay. Because it's always good to give examples. There's this girl who got married, and that was in Yaoundé when I was there. And on her wedding day, the party in the evening, this guy was so proud of the wife, the beautiful wife, that he met his group of friends who are his guests. And that sort of thing. He was drinking, when they're dancing and everything, and he was trying to talk about his wife and so on. Those boys are already high, they're drunk until, and they say, so when they count women, count that I want to send a woman. And it's like, what? Then they laugh. They say, this one, they don't pass on top things. Do you know that marriage got back? Everything ended that night. The wedding night, they got into a hotel, and it was problem. They separated in less than a month. And as I'm telling you, that girl moved to US. She couldn't stand the disgrace in Yaoundé. I don't understand. But she had told this guy before you met me, like sister said, that's your past. Your past doesn't project your future. Okay. What matters is where you are going to, is not from where you're coming from. Yeah. circumstances made you date 20, 50 men before.
Okay.
But now I've met the man I love, I want to stay with. That was my past. But the me now is for you.
All right.
If he loves you like that, he'll accept you like that, and things will move on fine.
All right. Just in 1 minute, you tell the women what they need to do for their relationship not to crash. Just 1 minute, and we're rounding up already. Evelyn.
Just 1 minute, I want to say that be honest, be consistent, and be truthful to your own self. And the first person you need to love, not that guy, is your own self.
All right. Doug?
Yeah, I want to advise women on dialogue. Dialogue is very important if you want to maintain relationship, and let God be the center of every relationship.
All right, thank you so much, ladies. The program was turned. We're talking about relationship crisis. I'm sure you've watched the program. You have learned your lessons. You have drawn your lessons. Now we've come to the end of the program. Thanks so much for watching. Do take another rendezvous same time next week. Goodbye.